Hello and welcome back to Scrum Study. What are we waiting for? Let's get ready to learn the last process in the implement phase. So, we're going to discuss the third process called
Refine Prioritized Product Backlog.
Let's first see the inputs involved. Scrum Core Team is the first source of input. Prioritized Product Backlog is the next source of input we're going to discuss. The product owner develops a prioritized product backlog, which contains a prioritized list of business and project requirements written in the form of epics, which are high-level user stories. The prioritized product backlog is based on three primary factors: value, risk or uncertainty, and dependencies. It is also referred to as the risk-adjusted product backlog, since it includes identified and assessed risks related to the project. It also encompasses all approved changes that can be approximately prioritized in the prioritized product backlog. Let's now learn the primary factors influencing the prioritized product backlog, one by one. Let's talk about value first. It is the product owner's responsibility to ensure delivery of those products that provide the highest level of business value first. Risk and uncertainty are two important factors because the more uncertainty that exists, the riskier the project is. Therefore, it is important that riskier products in the prioritized product backlog are given higher priority. Products carrying a higher level of risk will also require risk mitigation actions. When these risk mitigation actions are prioritized against the backlog, the result is a risk-adjusted product backlog. Dealing with risks early in the project does not guarantee that the project will be successful, but it does enhance the team's ability to deal with risk. Next factor is dependencies. It is usually not possible to create a prioritized product backlog in which there are no dependencies between user stories. Functional requirements often depend on other functional and even non-functional requirements. These dependencies can impact how the user stories in the prioritized product backlog are prioritized. Two of the most common ways to resolve dependencies are to either split a single story into multiple parts or combine interdependent stories. Another important factor is estimates. High-level estimates for epics are also available in the prioritized product backlog.
Another input is business stakeholders. It is described in detail in section 8.2.3.2.
Now, what are the tools employed to carry out this process? First of all, we have the prioritized product backlog review meetings as the tool. The intent of the prioritized product backlog review meetings is to ensure that user stories and acceptance criteria are understood and are written properly by the product owner, so that they reflect the actual stakeholder or customer requirements and priorities. User stories are understood by everyone in the Scrum team, and that high priority user stories are well refined so that the Scrum team can properly estimate and commit to such user stories. The prioritized product backlog review meetings also ensure that irrelevant user stories are removed and any approved change requests or identified risks are incorporated into the prioritized product backlog. Now that we have seen the list of inputs and tools being used, it is time to see the outputs created. Updated prioritized product backlog is the output generated. As we have already discussed it under Tools, I'm going to skip ahead with the impression that you've understood it well. So, prioritized product backlog may be updated with new user stories, new change requests, new identified risks, updated user stories, or reprioritization of existing user stories. With this, we've come to the end of the video featuring the third process in the phase Implement. I hope you've understood all the three processes in detail. Keep learning Scrum through Scrum Study. Thanks for watching.